Says I'm live. Hey, welcome everybody. I'm starting a little tiny bit early. It is 21:59 UTC. I'm waiting for the clock to tick over. I'm anxiously waiting for 22 hours UTC to come and go. Everybody's doing well. I'm still waiting. It's that last minute. It's the longest minute of the entire day. It's the longest minute. It's still 21:59. There it goes. Yes. All right. So we're at 22 hours UTC. Welcome everybody to Astronomy Discourse Live. Hope everybody's doing well out there in the universe and the world. You can call me Cosmic, and what we do here is, well, not each and every day, but almost every day. Whenever I'm actually here at my day job, I will be live streaming at starting at 22 hours UTC and going for maybe an hour, maybe a little less, maybe a little bit more. It sort of depends on how things go. I always sort of aim for less, and then it never seems to work out that way. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to pull up the chat here. Tom, hey, nice to see you. Atta, great to have you back. So first, my humble apologies for yesterday. I know that everybody was here, and the only person that wasn't here was this guy, and that's because I was embroiled in a meeting here, and we were going and going and going and going, and I looked up at the clock, and it's like, oh, it's it. I think I'm 7 hours behind UTC, being in southern Arizona here. Always 7 hours UTC, because Arizona is one of the states in the United States that doesn't have any kind of daylight savings time or anything. So I'm always on Mountain Standard Time, MST. And so I looked up at the clock, and it was like 3:30, 3:40 local time, PM, and I'm like, oh man. So yeah, I just completely rushed by. So yeah, big apologies there, but here we go again. So hope everybody's doing well. Things are good here. Things are good here. Had some really nice, or actually have had some really nice lightning displays at home the past couple of nights. Last night was a little too close. In fact, we got a lightning strike that knocked out power for a couple hours. It's sort of typical in rural spots where I am. You know, that is one of the things that you have to balance, right? I mean, the most important thing to me, right, way here at the top, way above the word astronomy, right, is dark, right? My location is dark. Down about here or so, it's quiet, right? But if you want those two things, then you have to put up with a few things, like when you get a lightning strike in the area, it's going to knock out something and that. So, Tom Atta, since you're here, at least in the chat, I'm playing some background music. Now, I'd like to know from you whether you can hear it. Is it too loud? Is it too soft? I can turn it up. I can turn it down. I need a little bit of feedback there, because I'm, like you can see, I'm not wearing the headphones yet. That is coming. But if you can let me know if you can hear the background, it's just some spacey music, Hopefully it's not going to get tagged or anything. I have my extreme doubts about that, but let me know if it needs to be turned up or down or anything. I've got it set to sort of right in the middle, so you know, it's always wise to choose the middle path if you can, at least at first. So let me know if that's okay. So I will just continue here. So yeah, what this is an almost daily live stream where lots of us from all parts of the world come together onto sort of this virtual porch or like a virtual campfire, and we just sort of sit back, we grab our consumables of choice. I've got the big awesome mug here full of hydrogen hydroxide, HOH. That is sort of my go-to thing. Now this isn't the same HOH that I have at home. It's you know, it's gone through a little bit of refinement, so it doesn't quite have. Okay, so you can hear it, but just barely. Okay, so I'm going to turn it up that much, and now let me know how that sounds. I've turned it up about 50% or so. So let me know if that's, you know, I'd like to have it so it's in the background, but not, you know, at the same level as this beautiful voice, right? Anyway, so yeah, grab your consumable of choice. I've got the hydrogen hydroxide today, HOH, and we sit back and relax a little bit. This is supposed to be very casual and fun. There's no script, there's no plan. You know, that a lot of science is like that. Thank you, Atta. Yeah, your hearing is one of the things that works really well. Good. Yeah, mine too. I actually just did a not any kind of a formal test, but you know, they have these online audio tests that you can go and they'll play a tone, you know, at a certain frequency and see if you can hear it. And my cutoff was about 12 kilohertz. So it's still pretty good there, at least, you know, for my age. So not too good. Okay, well, I'm glad that the sound is good. But yeah, this is just a fun, casual get together each and every, well, mostly every day when I'm here, at least. This is my day job. As you can see, all the stuff in the back here. I'm thinking about maybe putting some astronomical things up, because a lot of this is electronics. As you know, there's a lot of electronic things used in the science of astronomy as great tools, but yeah, this is definitely not any kind of astronomical installation here at all. The only astronomical thing here at all is this guy and maybe this piece of mirror glass. That's it. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else astronomical here at all. But we sit back, we relax a little bit, think and talk astronomy and space and science, philosophy. You know, tangents are allowed, so you know, feel free, you know, to bring up anything that you would like. I know that Atta took some images of the moon the other day that still probably aren't too satisfactory, but stick to it. You'll do fine. You just gotta, you know, that is one of the things, you know, in science and in life. You just have to be a little bit stubborn about things. And usually where there's a will, there's a way. So cheers. All right. Well, everything's going well here. As I said, I'm going to put this, I like to put things that can be knocked over far away from me, because, you know, I tend to do this, right? Yeah, it's way over there now, so there's a very, very unlikely chance that I'm going to be able to bump it. So, all right, I won't tell, Atta. But you'll do fine. You will absolutely do fine. You're on, you know, the same learning curve as everybody else has been on. So you know, it's a well-trodden path. No problem. No problem. So okay, well, cool. I thought that we would just sort of take it easy today and maybe go over to the Mars high-rise image site and just spend some time looking at Mars for a little while here. Maybe not spend, you know, the entire hour. We'll just make this a little bit short, but as I said, I say that almost every single time, and every single time it usually goes over an hour. So we'll see how it goes. We're easy and casual here. I do want to say, spread the word about this live stream. Definitely, you know, my two goals with this live stream. One is to just share the passion. You know, I've been doing astronomy my entire life. I absolutely love it. I think about it pretty much constantly, and this gives me a way to sort of share that passion. So if there are more people watching and participating in the chat, that makes me feel much better, and so that's great. And the other thing, there was a second thing. My brain completely flopped on that one. There was a good second reason, I can't remember now. So I'm just going to move on from there. So yeah, let's take a look at some Mars high-rise images. Now this is an instrument on the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter that has been orbiting Mars for a long time now, long time, at least a decade, if not more, and just the most amazing images of the surface of Mars, which you know are if nothing else is just beautiful, just absolutely gorgeous. There's also, you know, I mean, if you're into these kinds of things, looking at, you know, the surface features, looking at you know, the dunes and you know, the different. I mean, you can't really call them geological things because that, you know, that sort of implies geo, which is Earth. So I don't know if they have an equivalent for Mars there, but yeah, let's go to Mars. So I'm going to pull it up here. So this is, I'm going to switch my scenes. Here we go. Wait for it. Here we go. Here we go. So this is the Mars high-rise site, and what they do from, I don't know if it's each month, or I'm not exactly sure if they have any kind of a schedule, but you know, they put out sort of their latest Mars image releases from this instrument on the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, and they put out a catalog from time to time, and I just like to go through these and just take a look. They're pretty amazing, and what I like to do, if I find one that's kind of more interesting than usual, is that I'll put it over on the GIMP, which is a image manipulation program, and we can zoom in and change colors and all that kind of stuff. But we should be able to zoom in on the screen too. So alright, so here's the main site, and as you can see it says uahighrise.org, so that's where you can go if you want to follow along too. You can either watch this or follow along. So let's go into catalog. This is sort of their main list here, and let's just poke around, see if there's anything interesting. I really sort of get a kick out of these titles that they come up with once in a while. I would really like to know the person who makes these titles, and even more so, I would like them to hire me to make these titles. I think it'd be really fun to have that kind of job. But nobody wants to hire me, boo-hoo-hoo. So we're just going to look at these things. So this kind of looks like an intriguing thing. Layered deposits in crater in Western Arabia Terra. So that's some kind of name of some region, and as you can see, this was posted on the 5th of August. So it's been up for a little while here, but let's go into it. So that they always show sort of a preview image of some kind of zoomed in region, and they've colorized it and everything else. It's kind of interesting features here already, but there are some higher resolution images. Now, this is kind of neat. If you want to make a stereo view of this image is actually part of a pair. So there's a left and a right. You could actually build that, and that might be interesting to do at some point. So here's just some basic info about when this image was actually taken. It's taken on the 22nd of June, 2019. Here is the location. So pretty near the Martian equator. Spacecraft was 276.8 kilometers high. Good resolution, right? Nice. So 1 pixel is, I'm not quite sure what they're doing here, because they talk about 28.1 centimeters per pixel, and then they bump it up to 84. So I don't know if the images that we're looking at are slightly binned, which means they've taken the original and sort of combined pixels in a certain way. The one thing that I don't have here, and shame on me, is I do not. Oh man, I do not have a calculator here, a handy dandy calculator within arm's reach. Man, well, something's going to have to be done about that. So, all right, well, we can sort of also see, I'm not quite sure what emission angle is. The solar incidence angle is, of course, how high above or how high up in the sky the sun is. So yeah, and this sort of shows where the sunlight is coming from. So then they've got all these images, right? All these different kinds of images, all these different formats, blah, 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 blah. They actually even show you here, it's kind of hard to see. Let me zoom in a little bit. This little box here is where the image that we're going to see soon was taken. So that was inside of this crater. Kind of cool. Okay, yeah. So they don't say which crater, just a crater. But the one that I like the most of all these images are these non-map JPEG black and white. Now, I encourage you to look at all of these, but I'm going to stick with this one. So there it is. And what I like to do is I like to come in here and just sort of zoom in, and then we can scan around a little bit and see if there's anything really, really interesting. I mean, it's all extremely interesting. I guess one of the first things that I try to figure out is whether these things are popping up out of the screen or going down into the screen. And to my eye, these things are going down into the screen. See how the shadows are here? So that would sort of imply that the sunlight is coming from this direction, right? But if they're popping up out of the screen, then the sun would be coming from the other direction. It's always kind of hard, at least for me, to tell. So regardless, some pretty interesting layering here. Look at that. That's kind of neat. Yeah, 40. I think the angle, solar angle, was something like 41 degrees, or the longitude. So I'm not quite sure. I guess these are probably popping up. Yeah, it just I mean, with me too. I don't know if this happens to everyone or not, but they'll change, right? So now all of a sudden these things are popping up, and so the sunlight might be coming from this way. Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's probably how it is. But wow, look at these layers. Look at these layers. Now, I mean, though layering like this, if you see it on Earth, sort of implies maybe some kind of water, some kind of a sediment kind of a thing. I suppose that's possible here. I mean, I don't know enough about any of this to be able to say one way or another, but wow, there's some really cool, complicated things going on here. Look at that. Yeah, that's great. One of the other things that I like to do when I'm looking at these kinds of things is sort of put myself down walking around here. Now we know, I guess, at this resolution that every pixel is like 84 centimeters in size. So it's about a meter in size, every pixel, right? So can we zoom in any more than that? I guess not. So yeah, these are JPEGs, so they've been smooth and blah 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 blah. You can sort of see pixelization here. So every pixel here is about a meter in size. So something like this, which wow, that looks maybe like 20 or 30 pixels across or so, maybe a little bit less. But so this object here is something like 20 meters in size. So that's pretty big. So if I were standing next to this, I'd be really, really, really small. So, but I definitely like to do that. Try at least, to put um, myself here and try to imagine what it looks like if I was standing there. And yeah, really, really interesting layering. Very, very smooth, but you can see that there's still some texture here. All right, we'll move over here. Go back up. It almost looks like a contour map. Yeah, that's very cool. I'm gonna check the chat really quick, make sure that there aren't too many shenanigans going on. Oh, are there some words on this one? Okay, my apologies. I will turn it down a little bit. I will definitely. I'm gonna switch to hopefully something that has no words on it. So I'll just start playing something else here. Let me know if the words or if the sound is okay there. Should be about the same level, but yeah, I definitely don't want any music with any kind of lyrics or anything. So this is supposed to be space music. So okay, we are back over here. Yeah, these features to me now for sure are popping out. They're popping out of the screen. So this area looks definitely higher than this area down here, but it's super easy, well, moderately easy, to sort of flip your brain around and see it the other way around. So this would be the low point, these would be the high points. But I'm sort of thinking, since these are darker, they're probably in a little bit of shadow, and the sunlight is coming in from maybe the lower right here. So okay, we're going to keep going. This is a fascinating landscape. Yeah, just absolutely amazing. Here's some dunes over here. I guess that's what they call them. Look at this one. Wow, look at that. Check out that thing. It looks terraced, right? It looks like there are just some terraces there. You can grow some veggies on these terraces here. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, fabulous. Yeah, pretty amazing place. Earth has very, very well, I mean, in terms of amazing landscapes, it's sort of the same thing. If you go onto Google Earth and poke around, like in the deserts and stuff, you'll definitely see similar kinds of things. All right, let's keep moving here. Let's see. Searching for dust devil tracks. So, these dust devils, if you've followed this live stream for a while, they are a huge mystery to me. I have such a hard time accepting that they are dust devils that are causing these, mainly because there's usually so many of them. In this particular case, it doesn't look like there's a lot. This is some kind of a crater. We didn't look at the info here. Okay, so that was grabbed also on June 22nd. A little lower latitude, the longitude has changed a little bit. Same resolution, it looks like. Okay, and the sun was 22 degrees above the horizon, so a little bit lower. You can sort of see where we're looking here in sort of a larger scheme of things. Okay, so now I'll go to the big map, and we can poke around a little bit here too. So, all right. Now, the caption said that they're just looking for dust devil tracks, so I'm really not seeing much of anything. It's kind of an interesting feature here. Huh. Almost looks like dunes of some sort, but it's in the middle of nowhere. So, huh. Kind of cute. So I'm going to check the chat again really quick. Okay. That's good. Whoop. Okay, we'll scooch over this way. Take a look inside of this crater. Again, you know, I mean, can you imagine trying to hike down into this thing and seeing this flat bottom with all this, you know, I mean, again, you know, the scale here is on about the meter scale, so these really fine things that we're seeing are still quite large. You know, they're as big as a table, say, but pretty amazing. Not really seeing a lot of dust devil tracks or anything. So, all right, we're gonna keep moving on here. Candidate landing site for the 2020 Mars lander mission. Let's see what that sort of looks like here. Again, that was taken on the 22nd of June. Solar angle 53 degrees above the horizon. You can see that 53 plus 37 equals 90. So that's what that's all about. Same resolution as before, so at least this is where they're thinking about landing Mars 2020. Pretty rugged place, it looks like. Crater here, some weird looking features. Again, you know, this is likely to be some kind of a crater, so it, you know, this is probably lower than out here, so it's going down into the page. So that sort of implies that this is going down into the page. This thing is popping up out of the page, I think. Right? Shadow over here. Sunlight coming in this way. Getting a little bit of shadow here, a little bit of shadow here. Cool. Yeah, here's some high points. Look at how bright all this is. Really some bright stuff there. Really reflecting, you know, the sunlight quite a bit. Does that imply a different kind of material? Maybe. I mean, it really depends on the solar angle, all of that. Here's an interesting little, like a cigar-shaped feature here. It's kind of neat looking. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. And you can sort of see how these dunes, I guess you call them dunes, have reacted to, you know, the location of that. That's kind of neat looking. Zoom back out here. Itchy nose today. Yeah, lots of. It's a pretty busy place. I mean, it seems to be kind of an, you know, I mean, wow. You're gonna land something in a place this busy? Yeah, I don't know. That's I would think, you know, since it's a rover, that you would want to sort of land in a less exciting place and you know, just rove over to a place like this. But what do I know? Not much. Okay. Beautiful. Weird shapes. all kinds of weird shapes. Now, what you know, you gotta wonder. It's like, what would make this shape? Is it wind? Is it water? Is it tectonic? Is it volcanic? Is it uh, I don't know. Lots of possibilities. Oh, here's a crater here, way at the top. I'm only seeing part of it. See a little bit at the bottom there. Pretty cool. Check the chat really quick. Yeah, amazingly detailed. Hey there, Page Master. Page Master, I've been wanting to ask you, how's your new scope? Hope it's doing well. I hope you're having a lot of fun. Hope you got some clear skies to use it. But yeah, I'd like to get a little bit of a report there and see how that is working out for you. All right, we're gonna keep going here. Dunes dubbed Caltane. Should we look at some dunes dubbed Caltane? Let's do it. Again, taken on the 22nd of June. 1 meter resolution. So the sun is, getting a little bit low. Let's see what the Caltane dunes look like. Okay, so pretty smooth up here. Got some boulders, it looks like. At this scale, right? At this scale, it looks pretty smooth. But so here we go, moving into the dunes, supposed dunes. I guess these things are caused by wind. What sort of baffles me about these, and I've seen, we've seen similar things, is this weird black stuff. And look at it almost looks like some kind of fractal, like a lightning bolt shape. It's really, you have to remember the scale here. These are, probably around 1 meter wide. So they're still quite large. But can you imagine standing right here and walking around? This looks like a boulder that might be like a few meters in size. So you could climb up on that thing. But wow, what does that look like from there, right? With these really smooth, very steep, angled edges. But yeah, what are these weird black things? That's one of the other baffling things. At least they baffle me. And yeah, and then you can imagine walking through here, walking all around. I mean, these are these objects are kilometers in size, so they're very large large dunes, right? I mean, every pixel is 1 meter. So, well, okay, so this might be 100 or 200 meters across. It's still very large objects, and just weird looking, and absolutely beautiful, but just weird. Really weird. All right, let's keep moving here. I really enjoy looking at Mars, and like to share my excitement with you all. So I hope that comes through. Dunes, gully monitoring. Yeah, a lot of what these folks are doing is they're trying to watch watch and see if things change. Because they're going around Mars, and they're taking pictures of Mars with the same areas over and over and over again. They can do that. They can take a picture of a particular region, and then after a couple weeks, a couple months, they capture the same region again. They can do a comparison and see if anything changes. And I think they're seeing a lot of changes. Not quite sure, what the word is on that exactly, but yeah, that is at least one of the things that they are doing. Okay, let's go to the next page here. Let's see if there's any. Okay, so here's some more dust devil tracks. So that is one of the things that they can do, is they can look at a region, find all the dust devil tracks, so-called dust devil tracks, and then they can look later and see if there are any more. And so let's see if there are any here. Sometimes there are, sometimes there aren't. Okay, it looks like there are some here. They're kind of faint. And they all seem to be going in the same direction. Wow, look at this. It's like, I don't know if those are like cracks, if they're, I mean, being here on Earth, they're sort of like, well, those look like dry riverbeds, right? Yeah, maybe. Ooh, look at that. Check that out. That is cool looking. Wow. So it looks like some kind of a impact crater, or at least a crater. But look at that. It's got all this stuff sort of carved out. So you've got a crater, maybe a couple of craters here, and then all this stuff. Now, can an impact do that? I don't know. I think Paul Sutter, in one of his recent videos, said that science starts with the phrase "I don't know," and oh yeah, that is very, very, very true. Yeah, so here's some so-called dust devil paths. Now again, you got to keep a mind out for the scale of these things, right? These might only be a few pixels wide, but every pixel is a meter. So these are, like 3, 4, 10 meters across. These are large, very, 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 very large things. They're not just these, these little dust devils. I mean, where I live here, I live right next to a dry lake. It's called the playa. It's called the Wilcox Playa, and there are lots of dust devils out there all the time. But they're, a meter across, maybe a couple of meters across. These things are, 10 meters across. So yeah, again, we got this weird looking stuff. I don't know if these would be crazy. Yeah, I just don't know. It is an enigma, at least to me. Very, very straight edges here. Okay. Again, these interesting cracks that are, just a couple of pixels wide. So, it's a couple of meters wide. It's not, I mean, you could stand in this thing then, right? So, pretty neat. All right, let's keep going here. It's 22:43 UTC, so I think we're doing good on time. Polar dunes. fan along Ganges Chasma. Thermally distinct material at distal Kugun Valles. I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know what thermally distinct material is. I wonder if it's visually obvious. See, so that was taken on the 18th of June. 171 centimeters across. So the pixels here are a little bit bigger, a couple of meters across. Sun is pretty high up in the sky. So let's take a look and see if there's anything distinct. Zoom out here a little bit. Oh, I was zoomed way in. Alright, so we'll pop out here and see. It's a pretty interesting shaped crater there. I don't know if I'm really seeing anything thermally distinct. I don't really know what that means. So just sort of scanning around. It's really nice and round, though. Look at how nice and round those are. It's kind of interesting how, you know, a lot of craters, big craters, have these little ones around the edges. This one maybe has one down in the bottom there. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on there. There's some weird stuff, but yeah, these large craters always seem to have a few of these little ones around the edges. And to me, this edge looks really flat. Like, you know, it's been just flattened. I don't know. Check the chat really quick. Okay, cool. You're taking a movie. And Page Master, I need to catch up. Alright, well, cool. So you've been putting light years on it. Excellent. Pick out a few objects. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That's a great idea. Yeah, well, you know, I suggest everybody keep a logbook. I think that's a great tool, a great record of your observations. So yeah, I started doing that years and years ago, and you know, I mean, if nothing else, right? It's a nice way to sort of look back and reminisce a little bit. It's like, oh yeah, I remember when I started looking at Saturn, you know, all that. So yeah, very cool. Captain's log, yeah. Thermally distinct should be related to, you know, the temperature. Yeah, I would think so, but you know, I don't know what that means. Look how amazingly, perfectly round that is. Wow. Pretty cool. It looks like there's an edge of a big one over here. So yeah, I don't really know what thermally distinct means in this context. So yeah, we're just gonna move on. There's all kinds of things that you know, are mysteries to me, because I don't know these things. I just like looking at them and thinking about them, sharing them with you, and talking about it a little bit. So here's a fresh impact. So, you know, these events do occur. One of the things that we should definitely do relatively soon is go over to the Mars Insight website and look at their seismic data, and maybe try to correlate you know, any kind of seismic activity, because their seismometers or seismometer there should be able to pick up a lot of these impacts, and it'd be neat to start, and I'm sure they're doing this already, but I would like to correlate these impacts with some data that they're seeing on the seismometers. But let's just look and see what a fresh impact looks like if you have never seen one. They're usually not too exciting, and sometimes they're even hard to see. I look at this, I'm not really seeing anything too exciting yet, but let's poke around here and see if there's anything obvious. Everything else on here I would sort of characterize as being old. This is definitely not a fresh impact. Maybe it is, though. Maybe that is the one, but I think if that size of an impact would have occurred, we would have heard a little bit more about it. So I'm not seeing any sort of distinctive impacts anywhere. So I don't know. I would think that an impact that large, we would hear about it. So I don't know. I'm not. What they usually look like is just like some kind of a dark, scabby ray thing. But I'm not really seeing any. Does anybody else see anything? I'm not seeing anything. So, that's a little weird. They would call it that. I'm not seeing it anywhere. It could be anywhere on this image, and it could be really, really small. As I said, I have my doubts that it's anything really, really large. Maybe that is. I don't know. All right, we're gonna keep moving here. Dun, 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 dun. Fresh impact near airy crater. So maybe that's airy crater. I guess the one thing that we can do. Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah. It's hard to know. I don't know which one of these is airy crater. Maybe that one, because this image is so near it. But heck, if I'm seeing any kind of fresh impact there, I should look and see if there's any more impacts, because I'd like to show you an actual recent impact. So this one says candidate recent impact site. Let's see if that is, yeah, okay. So, where is it? Yeah, okay. Well, that's kind of hard to. I don't know if that would be a candidate impact or not. It's messing with us today. Because usually the impact candidates are actually pretty obvious. Let's see if we can find an actual recent impact here. Gully monitoring, dune monitoring, bright slope streaks, candidate landing sites, slope monitoring, terrain sample. Whenever I'm looking for something, I can never really find it. Impact crater with central peak. That doesn't mean it's a new one. All right, I'm gonna keep going here. Terrain sample. Monitor dunes. they're doing a lot of candidate landing site monitoring, it looks like. That's good. Terrain sample, terrain sample. Still looking for well, here again, candidate recent impact site. Let's try that one. Oh, okay, yeah. See how it's all sprayed out here and all that. So it looks really dark too. Can't really even see any kind of a crater or anything. But you know, I would think that this is sort of new. You know, that if we were able to look in the past at, you know, the previous image, maybe this stuff wouldn't all be there. But you see how it's all sprayed out and dark, really dark. That's kind of a cool image too. Yeah, pretty cool. It looks like, you know, sunlight is coming in this way. So these areas are raised, I would say, and these are the lower areas. Could be the other way around, but yeah, I don't think so. Cool. See if there's anything else moderately interesting here. Polygonal ridge and depression pattern in Arabia Terra. Let's look at the polygonal ridge. Huh. Okay. I guess. What? The solar angle here looks really low. What is the solar angle? Oh, 50 degrees. All right, well, call me a liar. But yeah, a lot of bright stuff coming off of here. I don't know what the exposure times are. I don't know if they have that kind of info here. Mission angle. Yeah, they don't say anything about exposure time. So, and you know, this is kind of a weird thing too, because they're scanning. So you know, they're not really. This picture isn't taken all at the same time. You know, as the spacecraft moves over the surface, the camera is seeing different places, so it's sort of a scanning thing. But still, you know, I mean, there would be an exposure time of sorts. But you know, really complex, kind of interesting shaped things. I guess polygonal. I don't know if that's a accurate description of this or not, but it is what it is, I guess. Here's some of those dust devil paths, maybe. Little things sticking up out of the ground, rocks or whatever. Kind of hard to tell. Let's see, we'll come up this way. It's kind of an interesting landscape anyway. It's a big thing, almost like a butte there. Yeah, kind of sharp-edged things here too. Yeah, neat. Neato. All right, well, I'm looking at the time and I'm noticing that it's about 22:58. It's amazing how the time absolutely flies. So I think I'm going to check the chat one more time. Let's see. Perfect game. Okay. Okay. Scene made, yeah. Somewhere the James Webb. Yeah, yeah. PageMaster, they actually posted a picture of it all put together. So yeah, you know, some good progress there. It's just yeah, you know, I heard with these kinds of missions that they'll do these if they have a confidence level of 70% or more that they'll have a success. So that makes me cringe. You know, that you've got a 70% chance. That means you have a 30% chance of failure. That's 1 in 3. But yeah, they've apparently put it all together, and I'm going to go back to the main view here. So yeah, they've apparently put it all together, and we'll see. You know, it's a process, and I think they've got a couple more years now, you know, to do whatever they have to do to test it, and all that. It'll be really awesome once it's out there. Like I said, you know, I think this is great. I think that we should do this, but we should also have 100 or 1,000 HSTs up there too. So because that would be great, and I think for, you know, the cost of one James Webb, we could at least have about 10 HSTs up there. But I think we should do both, all of the above. Why should we have to choose? We've got the material, we've got the will, I think. So let's just go do it, right? But you know, that's just me. I'm not in charge of things. And maybe that's a good thing. So, okay, everybody, I'm going to get out of here for now. Make sure to hit the thumbs up if you so desire. I am doing my own research, so if you like, go over to Patreon and decide if you want to support that work over there. Share this around. That is probably the most important thing, because I want to share this passion. And every time I'm here, it's not going to be daily anymore, but I will be here at the same time, 22 hours UTC. Each time I'm here, we're going to be doing something astronomical, looking at scientific papers or talking about a topic, looking at lots of pictures and theorizing about what they are. You know, I'm just in awe of everything. Everything makes me go wow, and so I just like to share that, and you know, the more the merrier here. So okay, everybody, I'm going to get out of here for now. Thanks for coming in. Tomorrow I should be here again, 22 hours UTC, so that's in about 23 hours from now. So it's one little spin of this tiny little planet, insignificant planet that we just so happen to be on, and are able to at least see and experience a lot of these things. So, all right, everybody, peace, cheers, and all that. I will see you on the spin. Let's see, I need to stop YouTube first. So I need to go over here and do that. Okay, everybody, see you later. I will see you tomorrow.